Hi, I'm going to be discussing the band today, Led Zeppelin. Led Zeppelin is Robert Plant on vocals, Jimmy Page, guitar player, John Paul Jones, bassist, keyboard, John Bonham, drums. The band is from England, and if you want to go back to the 60s, the Beatles, being part of the British invasion, which is, by the way, the greatest selling artist of all time, helped pave the way for bands to come after. Also from the UK, The Who, Pink Floyd, Black Sabbath, and Led Zeppelin, who were popular in the 70s, the late 60s, 70s. My friend actually had a theory about places like the UK, and in the States we have Seattle, that have a heavier rain climate. Well, what do you do when you have rain? You stay inside and make music. Okay, so the story that you hear surrounding the name of the band and where it was derived was between a conversation with guitar player Pete Townshend of The Who. When hearing about the forming of the band, he famously remarked, "Well, that's going to go over like a Led Zeppelin." And then they actually took the name. So a Zeppelin is an arrow or flying machine, and the idea of a Zeppelin being made of lead, it's not going to go over well, right? Well, Led Zeppelin was actually named by VH1 to be the #1 greatest band of the hard rock genre. Black Sabbath being #2, Jimi Hendrix being #3. They have been widely regarded as one of the greatest rock bands of all time, having some of the greatest musicians and also having a really stellar record deal. Well, who was Led Zeppelin? And what is their music? So Led Zeppelin is a music that's based in blues or blues rock. Well, what is the blues? Well, blues is a music genre, according to blues artist Muddy Waters. It is music that is inspired, dedicated to our pretty ladies. Blues is about all of what is going along with the struggle to have a relationship, the good, the bad, and the blues. When things don't go the way we hoped, you become sad or develop a case of the blues. So I'm going to be talking about the music of the band, the content of their lyrics, their influence and importance. Okay, so this song here playing, Good Times, Bad Times, one of their earliest songs off their first album, Led Zeppelin. It's about coming of age and sometimes a challenge that comes along with going from being friends and then now trying to develop a relationship. The song that I was playing in the intro, Babe, I'm Going to Leave You, is a song about breaking up a relationship where he's had a relationship with this woman, but now it's time for him to move on. I especially like the acoustic guitar here, and also just how the intensity of the emotion that you hear in the vocals, and the track overall is just pretty phenomenal. So you can hear in the singing, it's just like you just hear the pain in the Robert Plant's voice. It's just like really has just amazing depth to it. Okay, so also on the first album here you have Dazed and Confused, which the lyrics here are, "I've been dazed and confused for so long it's not true. I wanted a woman, never bargained for you. Lots of people talking, few of them know. Soul of a woman was created below." So he's dealing with a relationship with a girl that didn't really work out. Wasn't really the best kind of woman. Wasn't the best kind of woman for him. And so he's going through a separation. So every day I work so hard, bringing home my hard-earned pay. Try to love you, baby, but you push me away. Don't know where you're going. All I know is where you've been. Sweet little baby, I want you again. So it's like he's dealing with this kind of not as good relationship, and it's separation with this woman. He's feeling the pain that goes along with that. Okay. Also, on this theme here of it's not maybe the best relationship he had with this woman. Maybe the woman did him wrong, just had a bad experience, bad feeling, bad vibes, etc. This is your time is going to come. So it's basically like, hey, I did what I could, I tried, I was really trying to make it work, and it just ended up causing me a lot of pain, and so I want free of this relationship that was bringing me down. Wasn't good for me, wasn't good for either the guy or the girl. So he's just trying to now make a change and say, hey, I'm not going to continue in this relationship anymore because it's not bringing any good that's coming from this relationship. And all the times that he did try to make things right, try to do good for the relationship, it didn't work out. So he's not only sad about that, but he's also trying to say, hey, the way that you are and the things that you've done over the course of this relationship, lying and cheating, it's gonna catch up with you sooner or later. So, yeah, maybe I'm gonna break up with you. You don't have to be in a relationship with me anymore, but this kind of behavior that you're engaging in, this is gonna catch up with you, someone else, right? So that's basically, he's kind of going through that. Okay, so communication breakdown is basically, you don't have a relationship with a girl, you have no communication, right? You don't know how to talk to her, you don't know how to get through to her, there's not going to be a relationship. There's not going to be any other relationship, right? A relationship first has to have communication. You have to somehow talk with this girl. In the absence of that communication, there's not going to be no relationship. So basically, you don't know how to talk, or you don't know the words to say, or just not the right words, you're not going to have a good relationship. You're not going to have any relationship. So just kind of talking about that. Communication breakdown. Okay, so I Can't Quit You, Baby. This is a classic blues take, right? I mean, it's talking about the relationship, the infatuation of a relationship, the addiction of a relationship. I mean, this sounds just like a classic blues song right here. It's just like the simple structure. It's based on 12-bar blues, kind of. It's just based on 3 chords, blues scale. Everything is just revolves around this very basic blues idea, except they're doing the Led Zeppelin way. So he's just really strong vocals, really strong guitar playing by Jimmy Page, of course. And actually, I actually even like the BBC version of this song even better, because the singing is so strong here, and the guitar playing is so good. So it's just like, it's got such a good... Anyway, I just encourage you to check it out. It's amazing how good it is. Okay, so going on to the second album, because Led Zeppelin was definitely a album band. Their music revolved around their albums. You have Whole Lotta Love, which was the second single off of this, or the next single off of this next record. And Whole Lotta Love is not too much to say here. It's just basically how much he cares about this girl. He loves her. He's got a whole lot of love for her. Okay. And then Heartbreaker, which is often paired with the Livin' Lovin' song. It's just a woman, because how short it is. I mean, this song is also the song Bring It Home too, which I'll get to in a second. It's about infidelity. So he's with this one girl. He's trying to make a thing of it with this girl, but she's like some other guy. So he's like, how can I carry a relationship? You can't, So this song is just like, really hard driving, really strong rock hard rock, great music, and it's just like the solo is just pretty phenomenal. Unbelievable too. I mean, so you have a breakdown of the solo here where it just stops all the music and it's just a guitar solo. And for me, this guitar solo is just like, okay, if I'm not the greatest guitar player ever, Jimmy Page is talking, you as the greatest guitar player, you need to match this intensity and this technique and this style of play. Like, it's so intense, it's got so amazing, his guitar solo, that like other guitar players can look at it and listen to it and be like, I gotta play like this. Like, he's really raising the bar here. Like, it's amazing guitar solo. Okay, so then we're gonna go on to Bring It On Home, which is also about infidelity. So Bring It On Home is just like also continuing this 12-bar blues, classic blues structure. I mean, this is about as classic of a blues song you're gonna get. I mean, it's just, he's talking about being on a train. He's also dealing with the same kind of situation where, you know, you love me, but you also love another man. It's just not gonna work. You know, bring it on home, because it's not gonna work for me. So that's just the classic blues song here. It's just like, you can hear the basic like 12-bar blues. Like, it's just, you can hear it. Just classic blues. Like, can't mistake it with anything else. Okay, a few other songs that are of note on this album. So Ramble On. So that song, this is probably, you know, some folk influence here. You got the acoustic, very simple song structure, fantastic lyrics, setup, chorus, and then also some of the themes that are being brought here. Leaves are falling all around. It's time I was on my way. Thanks to you, I'm much obliged for such a pleasant stay. You know, it's talking about often common theme in Led Zeppelin, which is traveling. You know, he's on this journey. Yeah, he's dealing with some pain, past loves, relationships, but he's on a journey. You know, he's trying to find this girl he's trying to find. So this is kind of discussed here in this song. And one of the lyrics I really like here is he talks about in the second verse, he said, in years ago, in days of old, when magic ruled the air. Themes of like Lord of the Rings, and like, you actually have a mention here where the villain character in Lord of the Rings, Gollum, kind of makes an appearance here, which is kind of cool in the lyrics. Okay, so Led Zeppelin 3. So this song, Since I've Been Loving You, is continuing in this blues thing. He's just taking it to the next level. I mean, so this is like, the blues is just really, they talk about music as like evocative, or it's transferring an emotion. So the music that you're hearing, or the music that you're playing, is an expression of emotion from you, right? So I am feeling sad, I'm feeling blue, and I'm playing the emotions that I'm feeling, and then you in turn are listening to it, and then you are feeling the emotion that I'm conveying through my music. So I think this is such a great example of the blues. Like, you really hear, you know, how this emotion is being transferred from the musician to the listener. And if you listen later here, the guitar solo is just like unbelievable. Like this setup here, it just goes to show you how great of a guitar player right here. I mean, that as a guitar solo, like, you're not gonna find. There are few guitar players, it's like top 5. It's one of the greatest guitar players of all time, without a doubt. I mean, that's just unbelievable guitar solo. Okay, I also like this song, Friends, just because it's, you know, it's kind of dealing with, you know, there's also, you have friends, you know, you have your significant other, girl you're trying to get to a relationship to, but he's talking also your friends can be there for you as well and trying to help support you and through this journey that you're going to. Okay, now, so the next album is their most popular, most regarded album. They had some criticism leading up to it. Were they going to be able to be something? Well, it turned out this album, it proved to everybody that they were Led Zeppelin, because this is their most successful album, critically acclaimed. So Black Dog, very complex time signature. It's kind of amazing how they can write something so complex like this and so amazing musically, and then have it be as popular as it is. That's pretty. The traditional model in pop is to be simpler. Is going to be more. Is better. Is a way to go. So it's more of the model. Okay. Rock and roll. You don't need to say too much about this song. You listen to it. What is it? It's rock and roll, right? You know what that is. Okay, so that's pretty straightforward. Okay, the Battle of Evermore, that song is pretty unique because it's, he's in the Celtic influence. You have a little bit. You have like the Lord of the Rings influence. It says that folk kind of. It brings a mandolin in, which is pretty cool. So, and also musically, this is really cool too. They say some of the scales and modes that are used, the Aeolian and the Phrygian. Now, Aeolian, you can just hear musically what's going on. It's really complex. Things are happening, but it's also at the same time, it's great music, right? Okay, and then probably the first song I heard by Led Zeppelin growing up, song you always hear about, probably the most well-known song, that is "You Are Chastised" by the movie in Wayne's World, because of course it is great Led Zeppelin, right? You can't play this. It's not allowed. Go into a guitar store and play "Stairway to Heaven," because exactly what the thing is, it's just because it's so popular, right? Because everybody buys a guitar, everybody learns this song, right? So if you can play a song, you pass the test, you can play guitar. I really, particularly, this song is just a amazing, monumental achievement in rock, to be a long song, maintain all through, it's like 7 minutes. It maintains the interest and throughout the whole song. It's pretty amazing. So, I think for me, when I'm playing this on guitar, you can hear even a jazz influence here a little bit for me, because I can hear that seventh that he uses here in the beginning. It just shows you how broad their music paintings, their musical pictures from. So, okay, and then it has in the climax at the end, where I think that they were writing the song next to a campfire, next to a fire when they're writing the lyrics. It's a pretty great classic song. Okay, so this next song, "When the Levee Breaks," you can notice that the drums there. The drums is very, very popular here. So you can also listen to in the song "Rage Against the Machine," which is actually the last, or in the end credits of The Matrix, when they play this song. You can listen, it's the same beat. So the Led Zeppelin beat and the Rage Against the Machine took from Led Zeppelin. This is the same beat. Okay. And also there's a few more here for in the fourth, Led Zeppelin 4, Misty Mountain Hop. That song, why don't you take a good look at yourself and describe what you see, and baby, baby, do you like it? This is great lyrics. And then also Going to California, sounds like Ramble On, right? So he's still on this journey. He's got the acoustic going. You know, he's going to find the girl of his dreams. This is the recurring theme here. Okay. Next we have Houses of the Holy. So this is kind of the quintessential here. So you got Ramble On, and then you have Going to California, and then Over the Hills and Far Away. You know, Hey Lady, you got The Love I Need, Maybe, More Than Enough, Darling, Darling, you know, singing to this girl and his girl of his dreams, you know. So this is just the acoustic, how good the music is. This is top-notch music here. Okay, also, you get in a little bit to funk here on this album. So you got the crunge, you can hear that kind of the offbeat there. Also on the Ocean, he's doing the same thing as far as like kind of the more rhythmic kind of influence there. You can kind of hear it. Okay, Dire Maker, that's a Jamaican expression. Dire Maker, you know, J.R. Maker. And I don't know exactly how the accent is, but you know, Jamaica, you know, it's like that's the idea here of the song here. You know, did you get there with the girl or not? And then No Quarter. So, and that's, I'm sorry, the reggae influence. That was the reggae. And then No Quarter. So this song is a darker song. You know, it's around some of the keyboard playing, John Paul Jones here. And I do think it's interesting to note here that the alternative metal from the 90s that a lot of y'all know, Tool, did actually cover this song. He actually talks about the song as Led Zeppelin was such a big influence on them, and how he felt like that maybe through the song that they did, they robbed him blind or something like that. But I mean, I think it goes along if you know Tool and you know the kind of music that they do with the Perfect Circle, you know, they kind of, you know, Maynard James Keenan, the singer, like, you can definitely, I mean, this is like, you could almost make the argument that this song inspired Tool, but I mean, I think that would be going too far, obviously, because they're obviously not just inspired by one song. But I mean, it's so interesting how this one song, No Quarter, that Led Zeppelin does, and then hearing Tool cover it, I mean, it just goes along so perfectly with their music here. Okay, and then finally, okay, we have a few more albums here. So in Physical Graffiti, which is going to be a double album, there's going to be a few highlights here. In My Time of Dying, you get the slide guitar. It's a great song. Kashmir. Okay, this is one of the first songs I heard by Led Zeppelin also. So this, you get a bunch of instruments here and pretty basic, simple progression here, but at the same time complex, and just such great music here. Such great lyrics. So, say a little bit of background. Kashmir is a real place. It's a beautiful place in between India and Pakistan. It's a highly sought after place. Wars have been fought over. I don't think the band actually traveled to Kashmir. They went on a trip to Morocco, I think that inspired them. Notice the lyrics. Oh, let the sun beat down upon my face and stars to fill my dreams. I'm a traveler of both time and space, to be where I have been, to sit with elders of a gentle race the world has seldom seen. They talk of days for which they sit and wait, all will be revealed. Okay, those last two lines. They talk of days for which they sit and wait, all will be revealed. So it's basically this idea that, like, it's not, things aren't really being done. There's these really important people, they're talking about some important things, but they're not really doing the things. So here he is, he's traveling, he's going out and doing things, and in the situation where things aren't really being done the way that they should be being done. Okay, so Black Country Woman, this is going back to their roots of the blues. I mean, this is, again, like, the classic blues structure. If you can, don't have to even study the blues. I don't say that, but I mean, there's so much you can learn from the blues in Led Zeppelin. It's evident in their music how much blues are a part of their music, how much blues means to them in their music. You can see it. No better example than here, Black Country Woman. It's about a woman who played dirty, didn't play fair, did him wrong. Also a common theme here. Okay, Trampled Underfoot. Okay, so they're getting into some other styles here, a little bit like keyboard playing here, you can hear. And what is the song about? Talking about love. What else? Okay, and then Achilles' Last Stand in Presence. So you can see this longer song structure that they pioneered here. Some of their longer song structures that they did so successfully. This song probably won't get as much popular play just because of it's a little bit more abstract, but this is really an amazing journey here you're going on in music. Recommend that song for sure. Also, T for One. This is about a car accident. So Robert Plant was in a car accident that was actually out for a while. So I think it was like for a few months, maybe half a year. He was like, I don't think he could move too much. He was separated from his band, separated from his spouse, and he's just kind of writing the song in that about what's going on in his life at that time. So he's sad about being apart from his family, his friends. You know, he's lamenting here. This is really deep song here. Okay, so last album here, Into the Outdoor. Sorry, the last album was Presence. Into the Outdoor, All of My Love, which, you know, last Led Zeppelin album, still doing great. So this song you would definitely hear on the radio. You know, you have to, I think it's a keyboard playing the solo here, and it's really a great song here. And also Fool in the Rain. So after all these years, you know, you can see Led Zeppelin's going into all these other styles, reggae, hard rock, pioneering all these different things in music. They're still remaining true to their theme that they're carrying throughout, which is the blues. And they're always singing about the blues and singing about it in a way that is their own. It's unique. It's talking about the struggle with the relationships and how much he loves this girl he's in a relationship with, and maybe it's not working out, but he's working his way through it and he's expressing it through his music, and we all get to hear and enjoy the great Led Zeppelin. Alright, well, I hope that you will go check out some Led Zeppelin for yourself. I would say finally, as a note here, part of my interest and where I'm coming from with Led Zeppelin is that the band that I was a part of in college was a big influence on our band. So we would play a lot of Led Zeppelin, talk about Led Zeppelin, learn Led Zeppelin songs. So it was definitely a big influence for us, and it's definitely a high regarded band for us, and I hope it's also going to be a future band that you will regard if they're not already so. Alright, well, thanks for checking out this video. Hope you got something from it, and I will see you the next time.